Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of our Bulls fans and supporters and everybody in Buffalo. We hope everybody has a safe, healthy, and happy holiday with their loved ones. As for tonight, really proud of our guys for playing the right way in a game that, is always a challenge when you're going into a break. A lot of excitement to be able to go home on the holiday and see family, friends, and loved ones. And for them to be dialed in, stay true to what we were planning on doing the entire game. Obviously, our offense was tremendous. These two guys were tremendous offensively, but I thought our second half response defensively was the key. A lot to learn from this, but overall, really pleased with our guys for finishing the game. And all the guys that came in had a part in that game, and it was great to get those young guys some experience at the end.
Coach, speaking of experience, you got fifth year next year in Ezra. What has his veteran presence meant to this team? I mean, he had 12 points, 8 assists, no turnovers.
I mean, when you got a guy at this size that can stretch, shoot the three, make plays with the ball in his hands, it just opens up everything. So you don't always have to put pressure on your guards. They have to be playmakers with the ball in their hands when they're up, guarding them tight. I thought they really pressured our guards as much as they possibly could and made it tough and stayed tight to them. We knew that. So we put it in his hands and trusted he's going to make the right plays, and he did. And the beauty of him and Tim is that they could just play off each other. And Tim kept a great attitude. It wasn't his night, but he's the happiest dude in the locker room for Ezra and our entire team. And he's all about winning. And when you have guys that are willing to understand that Ezra was really on one in this game and had it going, and we played a little small, and you're a starter, that makes these guys even more confident to go do what they do because they feel like, man, I'm really on a team that cares about the right things. So I'm not surprised by what he's capable of doing. We just got to get it every night, and he's starting to do that, which I think part of it's just experience. And now that we're, 13 games in, I think he's really got a feel for what we're doing and playing at this level.
Ryan, very efficient night, 12 to 14 from 4, 7 of 8 from 3. What's it like just getting in that rhythm right from the get-go?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it felt good to see the first one go in. I think that the shots I was taking was what the game was presenting to us. So, it felt good. But ultimately, I'll pivot and say that it was even better, the joy that I felt to see my guys Modest and Alexa get in at the end, Daniel Shao. Modest knocked down that three. I mean, that's what we want to see because those guys worked their butts off. And so I thought tonight was just super fun all around, and to see those guys get in and get the minutes that they deserve was really cool.
Coach, piggyback off that, you talked about the freshman. He's the only guy that was here from your first year. What has Sable's involvement looked like?
I mean, you guys saw it on display tonight. I think early on, we really didn't come out with that 5 guys out there, like killer instinct that we needed to. We got to learn from that. He did. And I thought he set a tone. And then, there was a huddle where he brought the team in together, I know, and I was talking to our coaches early on where he really set a tone with them. But he also backed it up by playing his butt off on both ends and confidently. When you have a clear mind and you're just about, hey, if I get 4 points tonight and 8 assists and I have to rebound, he's going to do it. That's what a captain does. Tonight he stepped up. We need him to score. He delivered. But he also just didn't try to go out and get, 50 because I think he had a huge first half. I'm looking at it now. He had 21 at the first half. He had 10 in the second half. Some would say in a game like that, would be like, oh, man, I could have went for 40. He wasn't even thinking about that. He was thinking about making the right plays, and he did the whole game. And that's why we were able to extend a lead at the end. And just the joy he has for all his teammates. Man, that's what you want in a leader, and that's what makes his team special.
Ezra, 12 points, 8 assists. You can't ask for much more than that tonight.
Yeah, I think we were, just playing through the system, doing what we do every day in practice, and shows on the stat sheet. And I think when you see our guys like Modest, Alexa, and Daniel Shao get in at the end, and they're doing the same things, that just kind of shows you, we're just doing what we do. So sometimes it's going to show up. Sometimes it'll show up in other forms. Happened to show up for me on the stat sheet tonight. So.
Back to you, the player. What's it like seeing those guys get in the game? You see them day in, day out, how hard they're working.
Yeah. I'll say for me, Shao's been here all 3 years with me as well. Just couldn't ask for a better guy to be on this team. I mean, the attitude that he has, doing whatever it takes, working hard. I mean, it's just awesome to see him get in the game. And then I'll touch on Alexa and Modest too. I mean, couldn't ask for better freshmen again. Like, the attitudes that they have, the energy that they bring is outstanding. You know, we wouldn't be where we are without them, genuinely. So they, like we said, roles are different, status is the same. And so, yeah, to see them get in, it was awesome. Made me super excited. Yeah, it was awesome.
I'll say one thing, too. Evan Romano,
Yeah.
you know, is redshirting. And him, Alexa, Modest, day in and day out, are getting this team better. You know, they scout. They do scout team stuff. They're getting better every day. Those guys are going to keep coming.
Yeah.
You know, like we could potentially add depth to this team as we keep going along, because those guys are getting better and they have that mindset and attitude every day. And you know, these guys know we're not in the position we're in right now if those guys aren't doing what they're doing for us every day as well, that nobody sees. And it was good for those guys to get some credit for it tonight.
Coach, how pleased are you with 28 assists on 35 baskets?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we had to do tonight. We knew that. We took the right shots. We did what we needed to do in the second half, especially defensively. You know, I think we're a really good offensive team. We share the ball at a high level. You know, sometimes when we get a little in trouble as a team is when we get a little bit too isolation heavy, and our guys, you know, fought the urge to do that tonight and made the right plays, and it showed up tonight. So, yeah, I mean, you're always going to love when you turn the ball over very minimally and you have that many assists. So, again, great job by our guys. Thought we could have been better defensively, especially in the first half. We got to learn from that. But I thought we closed out the game and went to the holiday the right way.
Coach, you played a D3 team, but I thought they had a pretty decent amount of firepower, you know, coming into this environment. And you had Dave Nyland, the Western New Yorker. What does a team like that do for us?
Yeah, I think, you know, like, look, they're going to come in, they're going to play the hardest they've played all year. He's a great coach, though. I think he gets them to play hard every night. You know, but they know, you know, with the physicality that we present, the athleticism that's probably another level up for them, they're going to have to play as hard as they can. And they're going to have to really do a great job offensively of take care of the basketball, which they did. They're a really great passing team. And they compete, man. They play hard defensively. They stuck true to their game plan. They didn't make it easy on us. We just made the right plays. So, you know, love that he was able to come back to the area, up to Buffalo. I'm sure he's had a bunch of family and friends here. Great respect for him. You know, but we just look at it as our next game. You know, our next game to get better, doing what we do. And we ultimately did tonight. There was lapses, but we got better tonight, which is what you want to have happen going into the holiday.
We're going into MAC play for a big stretch now. Is there a mentality switch?
What do you think?
No.
Nothing changes. Yeah.
Just got a next game.
Yeah.
So I think our next game's at Northern Illinois. We're going to get back from Christmas, rev it back up, be ready to go, have a road attitude, and we got to know we got to bring it. That's it. It's our next game, and we got to keep getting better one day at a time. So that's just where we're at. But, you know, we're in a great spot, but we got to remind ourselves that if you don't keep doing what you do, you know, you're susceptible.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Go Bulls.